Hey, welcome back to Afton Woodworks. I know it's been a while. For those that have been wondering, why isn't this guy doing any videos? I just subscribed to him and now he doesn't do any. Well, woodworking for me is more of a fall, winter type activity. So I have been back at it. I spent a lot of time in the shop. And the first project I'll show you is, yes, another cutting board. If you remember one of my videos or a couple of my videos, I said I was getting tired of cutting boards. And so I've been trying to change it up when I make a cutting board and do a little bit more. So this is going to be a gift for somebody that lives in the state of Montana. And you can see here that I actually married the cutout of the state of Montana in maple to the cutout of a border around it in walnut. And let me just come a little bit closer. So you can see here that this actually goes all the way through, right? So how did I do that with that level of detail? Well, again, I turn to the Shaper Origin. If you're not familiar, I've got some videos on the Shaper Origin. I'm starting to see a lot more content on YouTube on the Shaper Origin. What it is it's a handheld CNC machine. So any CNC machine really could do this. But what I like about the Shaper Origin is that, one, it doesn't take up a lot of space in your shop. And two, you do still feel like you're part of the woodworking process. You guide the handheld router and it does the micro adjustments. So I first cut out the maple and I used a 1/4-inch bit with an offset just to kind of get the rough outline of this. And then I came back with an 1/8-inch bit on the maple. I then glued up the walnut. And I did the same thing, only I did a little bit of an offset so that when these two married together, they were as close as possible. Now, they weren't perfect. So I used the old woodworking trick of mixing up some glue with a little bit of walnut dust to kind of fill in the gaps. And it really did come out pretty good. It's pretty hidden in there. When I say it was a little bit of gap, I'm talking maybe 32nd to not even a 60th, I would say a 32nd. You know, I had to do a little bit of sanding, had to do a little bit of filing, a little bit of mallet work, but we got it in there and then we filled the gap in nicely. Ideally, you would cut this, and I showed a video last year of putting a maple leaves made out of maple into walnut, and I used, I think, a 32nd bit. I mean, really, really small with a little bit of offset. And that was so precise that it looked perfect. Well, when you have something this thick, you really can't do that. That bit is not going to cut 3/4 of an inch. So an 1/8 was as small of a diameter that I could use that would still go through 3/4. And I think it turned out really well. Then what I did is, of course, I used the Glowforge, which is behind me, to engrave the names here. I even added a star where they live and referencing the city that they live in, etc. So using a lot of disruptive technology within woodworking, the CNC process, the laser cutter, we now have a nice gift that is a little bit more unique as opposed to just face grain, end grain cutting boards, etc. So I hope this inspired you to get out into the shop. I'll have more videos coming soon. And happy Thanksgiving. Thanks.